Hi, I did my midterm and final with a little girl named Olivia. She's 5 years old. She's in kindergarten at a K-8 public school on the Upper West Side. She's the youngest in her class. She's a late December birthday, but she fully exhibits age-appropriate relations with her friends and classmates and with teachers and authority figures. And she has no hearing or sight issues. And well, normally she can get frustrated with difficult tasks, and when she gets frustrated, she gets kind of resistant to continuing with difficult tasks and challenging things she has to do. But those reactions are still within the acceptable range for her age. Like she claims that she can't do it, and she's trying to figure out ways to avoid the task. But it's all age appropriate behavior, not anything outside of the ordinary. And she's very popular in her class. She has lots of all the friends, all the little kids like her, and she presents no behavioral or social issues in the class. But interestingly, her older brother, I learned, he began decoding text and fully reading at 3, and Olivia still can't read at 5. She can make letter sounds, but not in phonemic blends. And she lives in a text-rich household where both parents hold postgraduate degrees, and she loves to be read to, she says, and she goes through books and examines pictures, and she memorizes certain books that are her favorites, but she still can't identify sight words. And she's able to write her own name and her parents' names and simple words like love and happy and mommy and daddy. And she has a relatively big vocabulary, and she learns new words quickly, but she still doesn't know how to decode words or read entirely. So for the test administration that I did, I started the assessment at the primer level, and she could identify 2 words from the A primer, word recognition inventory, 1 and more. And when she began the oral passage, reading the primer level A, she wasn't able to read the passage aloud as a cohesive tract at all. She could identify a few common words by sight, like no and mom, but she can't read other common words like red, without a great deal of coaching in terms of the sounds letters make, and she was not able to read the text without coaching at all. So, but what's really interesting to me was that after the coaching and after the coaching of the passage, and even though she couldn't read it herself at all, she fully understood it because she got 6 out of the 8 comprehension questions correct. She missed 1 literal and 1 inference question. Other than that, she knew the answers to all of them. And then during the silent reading, she wasn't able to complete the passage at all and could identify only the basic words. But during the whole thing, her demeanor was very agreeable and pleasant and happy. But after a little while, she did begin to show signs of fatigue, and she began to complain of hunger and asking for a snack. Her behavior didn't come off as evasive or trying to get out of working, because once she was given a snack, she continued on with the evaluation easily without any issue. So according to the assessments, she appears to understand the concept of phonemic awareness, but on her own is not able to identify individual sounds of words. But with extensive prompting, she's able to dissect individual phonemic sounds. And with considerable coaching, she was able to work through a number of phoneme blends and phoneme segmentation tasks. So the strategy I would employ with Olivia is the RTI process, which is a 3-step process, because it offers the best possible instruction for children who appear to be struggling with literacy, and it looks at how they perform under such conditions. And the process would be administered by the teacher, who she knows, would initially be done by the teacher, which she knows, which she feel comfortable with and relaxed with, and once she because early intervention is the key for RTI intervention. Being able to identify a reading or processing issue earlier in her career would allow us to better ensure that she will progress with her friends in reading. And for her, I would, as if I was her teacher, I would partner her with a higher level literacy learner that she could work with and learn from. And I would sit her close to the front near me so I could observe her and offer help in a non-confrontational way. And I would give her tasks that involve phonemic awareness, phonics, and structural analysis, and help develop her sight vocabulary. After all of these interventions, we don't know yet whether Olivia will need any sort of official evaluation for a learning disability or need some mandated services, but she would doubtlessly benefit from increased and focused literacy practice on her own or with her family or teacher or friends.